Welcome to the BattleGround with J.D. Hall and Bryce Shadday, a part of the Running Hook Podcast Network.
Welcome into the BattleGround, Running Hook Network's debate show. And tonight, we're not alone, gentlemen. We have the founder, Alex Burr, with us.
Thank you. You know, it's
former host.
Yeah, I used to moderate this shit. And Zach, I hope you don't mind. JD, do you have an intro? I don't know if you can come up with one, but if you do, please hit us with the intro.
I mean, you know, I never plan on how it's gonna happen and just come out. I got some. Now, to start it off, we have the core four at the one who gonna get the job done, no matter where it's from. And please don't get number 27 from Utah in his way, because somebody gonna have a bad day. It's Mr. J.D.
Oh, man.
At the two, he will shoot on you. And it's very disrespectful, too. Especially at his house when he bring the crew. We got Mr. Zach Griffith at the three.
Coming for you.
The man who loves to go against me. For some reason, he thinks he's the best at everything. Bryce Shadday.
Coming for the throne,
And
Zach.
at the four.
No.
Knocking at your door. The only guy who can produce and get on every show even more than Bryce and Caleb is Alex Burr.
Yo.
Oh, man. We do appear a lot.
You know, JD, I forgot to tell you, I ordered you a City Edition Rudy Gobert jersey. It should be here any day now.
Yeah, baby.
Right with Caleb's Lamella jersey.
Waste the money, bro. Waste the time.
Zach, I think we got you an Obi Toppin Knicks jersey.
Oh, hell.
I didn't even get him that one.
Well, that'll make for good firewood.
I bought him and Jacob Keefe matching Frank jerseys.
Ricky smokes, so I'm going to watch it go up in smoke. That's nice.
Oh, boy.
Well, guys, we are here. It's not our usual show. One topic tonight. NBA awards predictions.
Let's do it.
Now, we're going to go through Executive of the Year, Coach of the Year, MVP, Rookie of the Year, Sixth Man, Most Improved, and Defensive Player of the Year, all the major ones. I'm going to start off small and work our way up the ladder. So I'm going to go with Sixth Man first, and I'm going to start with Bryce Shadday.
All right. I get to start off. I think this is going to be a consensus pick here. I'll be honest with you. So
I don't know.
Zach
JD
is in here to incite some chaos, it sounds like. All right. My pick for Sixth Man of the Year so far, and who I think is going to win it, would have to be Jordan Clarkson from JD's Jazz or from AB's Jazz right?
It ain't JD's Jazz.
It's AB's Jazz.
You guys are gonna trust me when the Callout Corner comes up. You aren't gonna be saying my Jazz. That's all I'll say.
Oh man,
definitely AB's Jazz.
Hey, look, Jordan Clarkson has always been known to be a bucket getter, right? And everywhere he's gone, he's been a bucket getter. And this year, he's averaging 18 points a game, shooting 45% from the field, 37% from three. Chips in 4 boards and 2 assists too. So, I mean, it's kind of like the perfect bench player, especially for a team like Utah that, you know, when we look at small markets, usually they have a good starting 5, but you really fall off when you get to the bench, you know, and Jordan Clarkson's a big part of their bench. He adds that scoring element, can create his own shot, obviously scores a lot of points for them.
He is the bench.
Yeah, he is the bench essentially.
How dare you disrespect Joe Ingles and Derek Favors?
Oh, come on, AB. Let's be honest here. But that's my pick for sixth man. I think it's clear cut. I don't want to hear Lou Williams. I don't want to hear anybody else.
No.
Jordan Clarkson is it. Case closed, folks. Let's move on.
Swing it to AB for this one. Sixth man, Alex.
All right, so for all these, I'll list my honorable mentions first, then I'll go with my actual candidates. So my honorable mention,
out participation awards.
hell no, like listen,
Thanks for showing up to count.
I will say Jordan Clarkson was obvious for me, so that he was my number one, and then two for me was Thaddeus Young. He's been balling out in Chicago this year,
totally has.
Yeah,
and then. The surprise one that I don't think you guys would see coming is Chris Boucher from the Toronto Raptors.
Yes.
I'm down for it.
He has been an incredible shot blocker off the bench. He can't start because he's like a rail, right? But 13 points, 6.5 rebounds, almost 2 blocks a game, and 23 and a half minutes a game. So shout out to them.
Solid. He's been very good this season.
He's been very good. Thad has been ridiculous off the bench. Thad has basically become untradeable for the Bulls, which if you said that at the beginning of this season, I would have laughed in your face. And then Clarkson, man, he is just a bucket. Like that Jazz bench, I know you said he is their whole bench. Ingles, Favors, and Clarkson, that's an elite 3-man bench unit. Like those 3 guys start on the majority of the league. So shout out to
JD, what the fuck are you doing?
Listen, you can hate on Gobert, but don't you dare hate on Derek Favors. That's all I'll say.
I like Derek Favors. I thought he's always been a solid player. He doesn't get enough respect.
And Royce O'Neal. Royce O'Neal would be the starting 3 on most teams in the league. Not most teams, but half the teams in the league could use a guy like Royce O'Neal. Utah's very deep, but they wouldn't be this successful without Jordan Clarkson. So
Chris Boucher, like 5th or 6th in most improved voting too.
Yeah, somewhere in that. He's not in the top 3, but.
And we're not talking about Norm Powell from usually he comes off the bench, but he's been getting starts because of the bona fide first option. Playing poorly this season.
Stop.
Never forget Zach Griffith.
I know what I said.
Pascal Siakam, baby.
Wait. Can we please stop doing something right now? Can we please stop giving AB a chance to talk about how good Utah is?
They have the best record in the league.
JD, go ahead and give your 6 man. Go ahead and give your 6 man.
Like we already knew that AB was going to take this time to just give love to everybody that they have, right? Like now the whole bench deserves to be mentioned for honorable mentions for 6.
No, I did not say that. I just said their bench is very solid. I said they have one of the best bench rotations in the league. I did not say
Favors name. I heard who else name he said? Royce O'Neal.
George Niang.
No.
Yeah, George Niang.
Former Pacer.
George Niang. Listen, let's just get it out the way. It's Jordan Clarkson. Boom. He's a bucket getter. He don't pass the ball. He's out there. He's doing exactly what he's supposed to do for them, and he's doing great at it. It's no other way around it. I mean, I got him in fantasy. I know he putting up numbers.
Still need a point guard, though.
Quick correction. Royce O'Neal has actually started all 36 games for the Jazz, so I may have been off base, including him in the bench. But generally speaking, Utah's deep. So listen, I'm going to reward them. They've been the best regular season team, and they're probably, if they face the Nuggets in the first round, they're fucked.
Let's say this. Can we talk about them for other awards if they worthy? I'm not finna talk about their whole team for 6th man of the year.
No. I wasn't talking about it. I was just saying they were a solid group. That's all.
What's the next award?
Get off for the Utah Jazz.
Hang on a sec.
Oh yeah, Zach's got to give his. My bad, Zach. I discounted you.
No.
Yeah. Also, I'm not gonna go in depth, but as the moderator, I thought, I'll give some of my picks. A little explanation. I also have Jordan Clarkson from the Jazz. I think he should have been a 6th man everywhere he was before this. When the Lakers tried to start him at the 2 guard, it was cute. It was adorable. Didn't work. 18 points per game off the bench. It's pretty damn good. JD, you have in fantasy. I'm sure you're loving life right now.
Yeah, he got one job.
Hey, quite honestly, to AB's point, I don't think the Jazz would be atop the West without Jordan Clarkson. I think they would be a little lower down. I think it's just been that important to him off the bench.
Yeah, no doubt. So, and I'm not saying like the Jazz's depth is like, world beater. Like this is the absolute reason why they're winning games, but it's one of the reasons. I mean, they're really good. Their depth is really good. So It won't be the only representation Utah has on my ballot because I have them winning maybe another award. And that's right. It's MVP. I'm giving it to Royce O'Neal.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
But let's go ahead and move on since Zach gave his pick. But I figured I'd throw that joke in there.
Yeah, give it to us, Zach.
Moving on, executive of the year.
Oh, Zach, you got to let me go first.
We'll start with AB then.
Okay, so my honorable mentions are Sean Marks and James Jones. James Jones has done a really good job turning around Phoenix in the last couple of years, especially getting Chris Paul. And then Sean Marks obviously traded for James Harden. My executive of the year, I think it's obvious.
Don't do this.
Mute Bryce. Mute him right now. I'm not recording this, so just mute him.
It's Darrell Mori. All right, and I did mute Bryce. I'll unmute him. Or I'll ask him to unmute. But listen. Just think about what he did. All right,
set your bias aside, Bryce.
Seed last year, they weren't good. I mean, they weren't good, but this year they're great because they brought in Danny Green and they brought in Seth Curry. Now, what did Elton Brand do? Not either of those things. Who would have thought that a guy would come in and turn around the whole direction of a franchise by just bringing in 2 shooters? Who would have thought? So. Darrell Mori, to me, is the obvious pick. I mean, maybe you guys could come up with something different. You know, maybe JD has whatever the fuck the guy that's in charge of the Bulls name is for executive of the year.
Whoa.
Arturis.
Whoa.
I just didn't remember, so
just because I stick to the Bulls fan club and then jump to Utah doesn't mean strike me down now.
I mean, hey, I didn't give them executive of the year, so you got to give me credit for withholding on that. But Zach, who do you want to throw it to next? Because that's my 2 cents on the executive of the year.
Well, since Bryce's pick will be incorrect, I'll throw it to JD.
Bryce don't know, but I know. I think this is even better than everything that Darrell Mori has done. Sean Marks. I gotta give it to him. I mean, it was one thing to get KD and Kyrie. He brought in James Harden. He beat out Darrell Mori to get James Harden. And you know what else he did? He said, you know what? I'm going to get him a coach. I'm going to get him a free-flowing coach who brought in the perfect guys as assistant coaches. Everybody talk about they defense, right? They can't defend. Well, why the hell they beating people? Because they scoring. Fast, quick, and efficient. I mean, Sean Marks brought in the perfect coach for this team because they got a guy that I've clowned multiple times looking actually valuable. Bruce Brown.
I told you.
No.
I told you.
Are you apologizing to Bruce Brown?
Are you apologizing to me and Dylan Hughes?
Hold on. Hell no, I ain't apologizing to y'all. I'll apologize to Steve Nash because I didn't know you could make somebody like Bruce Brown look good. I didn't know that was like in your skill set. I'm used to you making guys
Brown
when you're on the court look good. But they got Bruce Brown. I looked at Bruce Brown and said, man, this guy really, he's really more than just running around out there. And then he pulled off the Blake Griffin move.
I mean,
that's big. I
think that just puts them in another situation. Oh yeah, the Jeff Green signing is really paying off. The Jeff Green signing is really paying off in my opinion.
You lost me.
I could see it.
Say what you want. Say what you want. Jeff Green has been very good for them. I think Sean Marks deserves it hands down.
Okay, can I rebut? Because I agree with I agreed with most everything JD said. But you could also say the same thing with the 76ers with Doc. I mean, Doc has been a godsend for that team. Like, they needed a guy like Doc because Brett Brown, God bless his soul, he wasn't cut out to lead a winning franchise, I don't think. Like, and I know Doc has had his issues, but he's a respected coach around the league. He's is leading a good group of veterans.
Well, I can tell you one of his issues in LA.
I'll tell you what Doc has also
Give
done.
you 13 reasons.
He's blown multiple 3-1 leads.
13 reasons why in LA.
I know we not doing that.
You 13.
Because he gave y'all 24 reasons to love him in Indiana.
Yeah, and then it dwindled down to 13, and now there's none.
Oh, tough.
But I mean, JD, I don't think you're off base, but I think that Darrell and Sean Marks should just like, maybe if you have Sean Marks, like I don't think it's a blowout by any means. I think it's close, but I'm not going to argue with you having Sean Marks. He was second on my list.
Yeah, nobody's gonna be upset you have Sean Marks. I mean, pulling out the Harden trade alone.
Everybody know how big I've been on the 76ers this season.
You've been really big on them.
I love what they got, but I gotta take Sean Marks. He made more bigger moves happen since he's been there. Like, he has just made so much happen. And with Philly, the base was already there. Know what I'm saying? They had they superstars already there. Doc was important because, Darrell Mori was important because he brought in the pieces to support them, right?
And now we're not asking that question anymore either.
Yeah.
Like, we haven't asked that question since last playoffs. I think that's a big deal.
I never asked it.
Generally speaking, everyone shut up now. And
they got to.
Well, when you have Brett Brown and Elton Brand running the show, everybody can kind of figure out what the problem is. Bryce.
we need to get to Bryce. We need to get to Bryce because he's been holding his tongue.
Bryce, executive of the year, and why is it not Darrell Mori for you?
Oh, it's definitely not Darrell Mori. No. Can I
Daddy
I will give a little bit of praise to Darrell Mori. This is rare, folks. So you need to take this in. You need to take this in.
Wow.
This is Callout
We're witnessing
Corner.
history.
Thought he was overrated, Bryce. Thought he sucked.
He is a touch overrated. Yes. I will give him props for this. And maybe it's not a Darrell Mori thing. Maybe it's more of a Doc Rivers thing. But nonetheless, I will give props to both. But I will single out Darrell Mori here. We have finally been able to see Joel Embiid's full potential fleshed out this season.
Yes.
And I am here for it. I'm here for it, guys. I love it. He's averaging 30 points a game, 11 rebounds a game. He's missed some games, which has been the biggest knock on him. And that's been my biggest knock on Joel Embiid. You can't stay healthy. Period.
Yeah.
And he's still missed games, but he's played at an extremely high level. It doesn't take the crew of inside the NBA to call you out and clown you for you to show up and drop a 40-point game. It doesn't take Charles Barkley anymore. He is consistently coming out and dominating like he should.
Got him in fantasy too.
And I will give Darrell Mori props for building the team around him and letting him go out and show us the real Joel Embiid. Now, Darrell Mori is not the exec of the year. I have to agree with my co-host JD. It is Sean Marks, because when you are able to trade for a top 10 player in the league and he actually wants to play for you, that's a beautiful thing, and we're seeing it. And then he just picks up Blake Griffin. We hear rumors that he's going to pursue Andre Drummond. I don't know how all that money is going to work. I really don't.
According to Allen Robinson.
They're going to buy. So if they do it, they're going to buy out Drummond, and I don't think there's no reason for him to go to the Nets. But continue, Bryce. I do want to say something about Blake Griffin when you're done. But continue.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, if he were to pull off Andre Drummond, I think that's a wrap for exec of the year. I'll just be honest with you guys. Like it's still up in the air. But if he gets Andre Drummond, it's a wrap. 100%.
I think it's a wrap already, but yeah, if they get Drummond, yeah. So
well, can I just say something about Blake real quick?
Yeah.
And listen, JD, Bryce, I appreciate that you guys think Blake is going to really help this team in a significant way, but man, when I watched the Pistons this year, so Dylan and I do the weeks for the podcast, right? Like we do the team weeks.
Yep.
When we did the Pistons, we spent more time talking about Lob City than we actually did talking about the actual Pistons team, because they have been that bad. And Blake was still playing then. And let me tell you, he wasn't good. Now,
I think he's phoned it. I think he's phoned it in. I think he pulled a Harden. He just did it silently. I think he phoned it.
Yeah, he's been tired of being there.
Yeah, I was in Detroit, so nobody cared.
But here's the thing, though. Like, what if his phoning? Like, he's had a ton of knee surgeries.
True.
Like, he never was really that great on defense when he was Blake Griffin. Like, yeah, he's a great. Listen, I've been saying his destiny is to be like 6'9" Knicks Jason Kidd, right? Where he's just back and no, it's not insult though. But like he can make open threes, he can back dudes down, he's gonna get the ball to the right place, right? I just don't know how that fits on this Nets team. I want to see it, right? Because I want to see Blake actually try. Because
he's not starting.
But I think that he's gonna be like maybe not Knicks Jason Kidd, but like old Mavs, like 2011 Jason Kidd, where he's not going to be like crossing you up and get into the lane real athletically, but he's still going to be able to get to his spots. Again, I just don't know where that fits on this particular team. And maybe he will be better, but I feel like it's reasonable to doubt what Blake can do.
I think it's reasonable, but I think he'll be fine. I really do. I think he'll be fine.
And
because there's no pressure on him. Yeah. He doesn't have to be he's literally the fourth option. Literally.
Not even the fourth. They go put Joe Harris over him.
Yeah, and when have we ever said Blake Griffin is a 4th through 6th position, right? Never. Right. So this is new territory. I think he's going to thrive in that position. And when you got a GM that's an NBA champion like Sean Marks, it's going down, fellas. You guys know Sean Marks was a champion? Do you know that?
No. You know, I know.
JD knows.
You know, I know.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Sean Marks, NBA champion, baby.
Well, which one of JD's teams did he play for?
It's only between two. It's only 2 teams.
Well, and you know it's not Chicago.
You know it's not Chicago. You know it's not Chicago.
So Sean Marks rode Tim Duncan's coattails to a championship. Got it.
Oh man.
Come off our bench, Sean. Come off our bench, Sean.
Hey, JD, you know what this means for Jeff Green? Minutes going down. He loses some minutes to Blake.
Hey, I'm be real.
Sean Marks was in the league in 2011.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, for Portland.
I just looked up his basketball reference. Holy shit.
I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, New Zealander. He's not even American.
He strikes me as a guy who played for like 7 NBA teams.
Hey, day, Mike.
Close. He played for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hey, Zach. This will be fun. Which team drafted him?
Knicks.
1998. 15. He was the 15th pick. No, in the second round. Sorry. Sorry, 44th overall. Sorry, I read that incorrectly.
Zach, let's go ahead and move on to your executive of the year, and we'll go on to the next category.
Well, it's Darrell Mori, and it's Darrell Mori because look, he won it. This was his award to win the minute he traded Al Horford.
Got off that
award as soon as he traded Al Horford.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
They're just giving it to him right away.
I mean, let's be real though. Josh Richardson and Josh Richardson and Al Horford were terrible fits with the Sixers, and now we're seeing them. Horford is thriving on the Thunder, maybe not thriving, but Horford's playing well for the Thunder.
He's playing for the Thunder.
Richardson is starting to kick back up in Dallas. Yeah. So, listen, it worked out for all parties involved. So.
It did, and I mean, he put great pieces around the 2 marquee guys, like AB said. I mean, nobody's even questioning if they can play together anymore. It's just happening, and everybody's enjoying it. The number 1 in the East, they're even ahead of the Nets. Not by much, but they're ahead. Yeah, Danny Green and Curry. If you just say, hey, they added Danny Green and Curry, what an improvement. They're going to be so much better.
We knew Seth was going there. We knew Seth was going to go there.
Yeah, come on. We knew it. And honestly, Dwight Howard has been pretty good for them. He hasn't been bad for them.
At a start. Unless he's had to start.
If he has a start, it's fucked. And let's be honest. They're probably going to trade for Kyle Lowry. Probably.
It's a strong chance they do. But I gotta say this. You know what else that Doc Rivers move allowed for Ben Simmons to have a career night on the night Joel Embiid ain't play. He put 42 on Rudy Gobert head, and you know what he said about the defensive player of the year that everybody liked talking about. He said, "I thought it was disrespectful. They put it on me." Hey. 2 defensive player of the year. Hey, shout out Darrell Mori for hiring Doc, and Doc saying go at him.
Yeah, we hardly even mentioned that. He hired Doc Rivers.
42 on his head.
Yeah.
42 on his head. I loved it. I said, please, let him guard them every time they play.
All right, guys, on to the next award. Most improved player. I'll throw it to JD first.
You know, my man was kind of boggled by this because it's a lot of different names you could throw out there. And the first name that everybody want to bring up, obviously, is Jeremy Grant because of the difference that you see in him from
Just the stat difference.
Denver and Detroit.
Big time.
But not for me. I got to go with somebody that even Zach has had to show love to. Julius Randle.
Wow.
I got to go with Julius Randle.
Totally fair, dude. Totally fair.
I got to go with Julius Randle. I mean, I seen the potential in the Kentucky prospect. But Caleb Land. I seen the potential in the Kentucky prospect.
Dylan Hughes just turned the BattleGround off when he said Julius.
No, Dylan actually had Randall as a snub candidate for the All NBA pod that we did yesterday.
Wow.
I was so shocked. Like I had to do a double take. I was in shock.
He had to punish himself.
He didn't really mean it. But yeah, it's Julius Randle by far, man. I think just look at how not just the numbers. Look at how he's leading this Knicks team. I mean,
he's the alpha.
Yeah, and he's gotten free reign to just be him. I gotta go with Julius Randle and the Knicks 500 playoff team. When was the last time
Zach can't stand it?
What's the last time they was 500?
Jeez, probably when they drafted Sean Marks.
Man, then a playoff team? It's been 10 years. Playoff team?
I don't think they're gonna make the playoffs. So it's a whole other discussion.
They may
We're
not
not here to discuss that.
They may not, but the fact that they're in the hunt, the fact they're in the hunt is enough to talk about. I mean, when was the last time the Knicks deserved breath?
Oh, if they're in the hunt, the media just trips over themselves trying to get their takes out. But
saying that Bosch is better than Julius Randle.
Oh my god!
Or excuse me, the other way around.
Yeah, that's just ridiculous.
And they're in the hunt for Kyle Lowry and Victor Oladipo.
They go. LeBron's going there next season.
And Drummond, they getting everybody who's on the market now.
I will laugh if the Knicks give up actual players for Drummond. I will just die laughing because they don't need. Mitchell Robinson is better than Andre Drummond.
Yeah, classic Knicks move.
They don't need Andre Drummond.
Hey, we'll give you RJ for Drummond. Oh, all right.
Wait. Going back to Executive of the Year, I just want to say, and you guys don't have to rebut to this, trading Jared Allen for 29 of the 30 teams would be a fucking stupid move. The Nets have so much talent that it doesn't matter. That's my statement.
All right. I'll say one thing on Julius Randle. I didn't know he was capable of passing like this. I literally had no idea.
Is he your pick, Zach?
He's not my pick. It was close between him and the guy I had winning, but
okay.
I did pick him for All-Stars, and he made it right.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay.
Bryce, most improved player.
I'm going with JD's guy. I'm going with Julius Randle too. I mean, he's a triple double threat every night. It seems like he averages 23, 11, and 5. He shoots 48% from the field and 41% from three. You look at him and you don't get that vibe from a guy like Julius Randle. But I mean, his offensive production has been significantly increased.
It's on my fantasy team.
Yeah, empty empty stats guy, I think is the way you termed it.
Yeah, baby.
And I mean, we knew Julius Randle could rebound, right? But to Zach's point, his passing ability, I mean, from what I've seen from Julius Randle, he's acting like the vet, right? You know the guy that these teams bring in, where it's like, oh yeah, that's the vet. Like David West. When we signed David West, the Pacers signed David West.
Exactly right.
He was the safety blanket, right? That free throw line jumper was money every time. And you knew it. Anytime anybody got in the shot, all right, give it to David West at the high post and let him shoot it, right? It's like, all right, give it to Julius. He'll make something happen. He's just a playmaker. So I love it. Give me Julius Randle for most improved this year.
It's weird to think about Julius Randle that way, but he's been in the league for like 7 years.
Oh, I know.
He is the vet.
He was so highly touted, though, and that's the problem with some of these high draft picks is we really don't see some of them come into fruition until a lot later.
Yeah,
you know, it's weird because I don't feel like we see a lot of these right off the bat guys anymore. You know, like even Zion, like yes, he's dominant, but is he as I don't know.
He's not who
like,
they try to make.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the times I'm wanting more, and maybe I'm wrong about that.
I mean,
but
he's putting up like 35 on 13 or 17s. Yeah, he's like he definitely deserved.
He's been good this year.
He definitely deserved the All-Star spot. I mean,
no,
the way he played.
No, hell
no. But like the thing was when we did our pod, yes, he didn't deserve the All-Star spot. But from like 2 weeks before that on, which is like half the season at this point, like. Yeah, he deserved it. He's been playing great. He's like 25 a game on like 62% from the field.
Over Devin Booker.
No, but I mean, listen, it's not unreasonable that he made it. I'll say.
One last thing on Julius Randle. I think we always forget that this dude broke his leg in his first fucking game in the NBA. And now he's just balling. Like, I don't think we've ever given him enough credit for like coming back from that. That's pretty that's like as bad as you can start in the NBA. But AB, most improved player.
Well, you guys brought up Jeremy Grant, and to me, it's the obvious choice. My honorable mentions were Jaylen Brown and Christian Wood. Christian Wood to me would probably be running away with it if he were as healthy, which is sad. Also, coincidentally, the Rockets have plummeted since Christian Wood got hurt. So I think he got hurt the day we released the Power Hour for the Rockets, and I think they won like a game or two, and then I'm pretty sure they are still on a losing streak.
I think.
Wait, so Julius Randle isn't an honorable mention for you?
So okay,
No,
Jeremy Grant made the improvement from role player to like at worst the number 2 option, right?
Okay, all right.
So for an award like this, do you guys put an emphasis on winning? Because this is definitely an individual award.
No, like how can you? Because
to an extent,
I don't think you can.
To an extent, only because New York sucked and Detroit sucked. Julius Randle doing what he do make them better. And this is just making Jeremy Grant a hot trade topic.
So if I can explain why I had Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown's made the jump from like I barely trusted him as the 4th option last year, right behind Tatum, Kemba, and Hayward.
Alex.
No, like I didn't. He couldn't dribble. He couldn't. No, this is Zach. He couldn't dribble last year. He now he can create for himself off the dribble. His pull-up jumper game is real. He is at worst a top 20 player in the league right now because of his defense. I'm not quite there yet. JD knows I'm a big Tatum guy. I'm almost at the point where I'll take Jaylen Brown over Jason Tatum. I'm not quite there yet. I need to see a little. I know you have been saying it, but JD, you know, for me to take this step is huge. Knowing me, you know me taking this step is huge. So I'm rewarding Jaylen Brown for taking the jump from good to great because that's what he's doing. Like last year, he was probably like a top like 30, really close to 30 player in the league. Now he's top 20 and like closer to 15. So that jump is really fucking hard to make. And I think the fact that he's made it so well and the efficiency has stayed practically the same. Like last year, he was shooting 48% from the field on 15 shots a game. This year, 49.5% from the field on 18 attempts, almost 19 attempts a game. That's almost 4 more shots. And 24 points. He's getting to the line a little bit more and shooting about the same. Like, that's what matters to me. Efficiency, let's face it. Scoring numbers are through the roof right now, right? Trae Young in a normal era probably averages like 26 a game, right? Just like to show like how inflated the stats are. But if you can shoot the ball well, that's what matters to me. And I think that's why I like Jaylen Brown and what he's been doing. He's been really efficient and he's actually making off the dribble shots.
So you're a big CJ McCollum guy because he could.
He was balling his ass off this year.
Dude, he was. I have a fantasy. Bro, dude.
Honestly, Zach, it's crazy. He probably would have been the most improved player if he stayed healthy. And he kept up that pace.
Dude, yeah, he was
leading a team in scoring, actually.
Yeah, he was averaging 26 points a game.
Would have won it twice. That would have been the second time he won it, right?
Yeah, it would have been, but he would have earned it. Again, the jump. CJ earned a lot of respect he earned a lot of my respect last year in the playoffs, and he played with the broken back. That's a really
that's tough.
It's tough, and I have to respect it. So, yeah. But Jeremy Grant, to me, going from he was Denver's 5th option last year, 4th, 5th.
They didn't know how to use him.
Yeah,
they didn't know how to use him.
No, they didn't.
From what I've seen from him, I believe in him as a first option. Now, on a shitty team.
Oh, okay. All right.
On the Celtics, he'd be
worst team in the
Zach
league.
was hoping
but the off the dribble stuff, it's real. He can. I think he could take 18 shots a game, and you'd be fine on a contender. I don't think that's ridiculous. So that's why I think that jump is hard. And plus, Jeremy Grant's teams, if you want to laugh, he's been on the process Sixers, the gunning for triple doubles Thunder, the Westbrook gunning for triple double Thunder. He was on the Nuggets, and now he's on this shitty Pistons team.
Quite the assortment of teams.
You can't do nothing but improve. You went from trash to okay, you're a little decent at moments to all right, just fulfill this role to the absolute hotbed of garbage shit.
Wow.
If you in Detroit, right now all you got to do is come out and do whatever it is you want. What Dwayne Casey go say? Hey, don't do that. Give the ball to Sadiq Bey.
He was balling for a couple games.
That's Eastern Conference Player of the Week, Sadiq Bey, to you, sir.
Over Zach LaVine, who led us to the same record, giving them 30 a night. 30 a night.
Hey, anytime you can take a rookie who put 30 and 7 on the Celtics, you got to do it. But Zach, what's yours in the interest of time?
Well, it seems like everything sucks in Detroit, especially the basketball team. But let's see here. Rookie of the year. Oh no, I'm sorry.
We're not talking about rookie.
Most improved player, Jaylen Brown.
Wow,
Jaylen Brown.
My guy, they locked up your first round, your first option.
Yeah, he sure did. He sure fucking did. He finally an all-star status. I thought he probably could have made it last year, but he didn't. I don't think there's 6 guys I'd take over him in the East. I have him pretty high up on the East power rankings for players.
Interesting.
AB mentioned his scoring. He can score in a variety of ways now. Like last year, he's pretty limited offensively. Mm-hmm. And his defense has improved, and it has to because their defense sucks. Quite frankly, it's terrible. I mean, when you got Tristan Thompson running around up there, you're what are you doing?
Peyton Pritchard's been their 4th best player.
Oh man!
For the majority of the season,
AB couldn't help himself with Peyton Pritchard.
No,
I knew it was coming.
No, but it's damning when a rookie point guard who's 6 feet tall is who's basically TJ McConnell that can shoot is your 4th best player. That's a problem.
And here's my take on Jaylen Brown. If the Celtics somehow get to the conference finals, which I don't think they will, as they're constituted right now, unless they make some kind of trade.
Simmons on the hot seat.
No. It will be because of Jaylen Brown if they get to the conference finals. That's my take.
Interesting.
Absolutely. Okay. But they not getting there.
No, they're not.
Who they gonna beat?
Once they get Boucher, they can beat anybody, baby. Let's go.
Moving on, Rookie of the Year. Boston media.
No contest. No contest.
This one should be unanimous.
Let's say the name and keep it going.
Hear that, Caleb?
And keep it going.
Yeah, Caleb Lynn. This is for you.
Listening, Caleb.
I'm not big on him, but I'm gonna take him up in fantasy.
I'm gonna take him in the draft. We'll just see what happens.
I'm gonna take him in fantasy. I'm not big on him. I'm not a fan. Just objectivity.
Hey, remember when he tried to trade him? You remember when he tried to trade him right before he started going off, and then he never said a word about it.
I like Ball. I like him.
Yeah, I like him. He's fine. He's fine.
Ball is actually kind of good. I had to take my word back. He's kind of good.
All right. So it's obvious our pick is Lamella Ball.
Yeah, 100%.
I think we could just move on, quite frankly.
Just objectivity. He's pretty good.
If you can let me name my my honorable mention.
Go for your honorable mentions.
Yeah.
So okay, Tyrese Halliburton in Sacramento has been phenomenal for a rookie. He's already come in.
Choice.
No, he's come in and played like the Kings don't miss Bogdan Bogdanovic at all. Bogdan Bogdanovic, contrary to Caleb Lynn's opinion, is a good basketball player. And Tyrese Halliburton stepped in and basically filled that role for the Kings. So like they fucked up by not trading him to the Bucks. They bucked up, if you will.
I got him.
But in all seriousness, they've lost Bogdanovic for nothing and it didn't matter. So I think that's huge because Bogdanovic is a veteran and Halliburton's a rookie. And then for my third guy, I had Emmanuel Quickly. He's been really good for the Knicks. Fair. And he should be playing more. It's the ridiculous. I mean, Tibbs,
I agree.
JD, we know the Tibbs experience. It's shocking that he's even playing 20 minutes a game. I mean, he's been really good for the Knicks.
He doesn't run him into the ground yet.
Hey, that's all. That's probably what's going to happen next year.
He's not playing those Luol Deng minutes.
And I just want to make a quick point on LaMelo Ball, though. And I think Stephen A. Smith said this, and I think he's right. LaMelo Ball is the player that Lonzo Ball was promised to us, right? Everything, like, I know there was a lot of skeptics on LaMelo Ball. I was one of them, right? But the more I watched him play, like before, like just watching some of his film and tape, it was like, this kid can actually like play, like, and it looked like he belonged at, like, for me, when I look at Lonzo Ball, sometimes it looks kind of awkward when he's on the floor, but like with LaMelo, the game just kind of flows through him. Like he lets the game come to him and he just makes the right play. He's got a little razzle dazzle pizzazz to his game, but he makes the good play. Sometimes he just makes it look a little bit prettier.
The thing is,
I like it.
The thing is, it's all simply about aggression. LaMelo goes out there looking and knowing he's going to make a play.
Yeah.
Lonzo is not aggressive enough. The nights where he aggressive, it's without a shadow of doubt, we'd be like, damn, this dude really a baller. But then it's other times where it's like, do Lonzo want to be on the court? Does Lonzo really want to play basketball?
Yeah, do you just want to go rap, bro? Like, if you want to do that, like, that's cool, like, go for it.
But I'm not gonna lie, man. I love when Lonzo out there aggressive. I love Lonzo Ball, to be honest. I really like Lonzo. All the skills he brings to the table. It's just, can you be aggressive every night? And that's the simply the difference right now. You see LaMelo is the most aggressive rookie in the league, easily.
Yeah, and the fact that he's been doing this with two other ball dominant guys. I know Devontae Graham's been out, but still, it's even more impressive. Looking back on it, he should have been the number one pick. Honestly, he should have been.
I ain't gonna lie. As much as we praising him right now, Player of the Year goes to Anthony Edwards, number one pick.
Oh yeah, it does.
Oh yeah,
yeah. That's the Player of the Year. That dunk.
I had to shut him out. I had to, because he wasn't gonna get no love no other way.
Hey, I feel it.
He's been good. He just is, young.
He just plays for Minnesota.
So I just pulled up a random stat, right? So and Basketball Reference has a subscription page called
Detroit
StatHead.
Worse.
I love StatHead.
So okay,
StatHead's good.
So I pulled up how many guys in their rookie year have averaged 20 or greater than 16 points a game and greater than 1.6 steals. I didn't do the 6 assists and 6 rebounds because that would have taken out a lot of guys.
Right.
But David Robinson, Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Chris Paul, Terry Cummings, Anthony Hardaway, Grant Hill, LeBron James, Paul Pierce, Steph Curry, Allen Iverson, Isaiah Thomas, John Wall. LaMelo should be on here because that's what he's averaging right now, but he's not.
I got to wait for the season to be done.
I mean, like, that's the kind of company he's in. And he's shooting like 45% from the field. He is not your typical rookie, folks. He is really good. Like, he's jumping passing lanes like at an elite level. He's really good at finishing, way better. He's way more confident in his shot than Lonzo is, and that's the difference. Like, Lonzo he's
played professionally.
Yeah, and Lonzo's scared to go inside because he's scared to shoot foul shots. And it's frustrating because Lonzo, has a good 3-pointer, but his free throws, he's one of the worst free throw shooters in the league, in a league that includes Andre Drummond. In a league that includes Dwight Howard, he's one of the worst.
I blame JJ Redick. He ain't taking them down there, teaching them like Ray Allen did LeBron.
JJ's no Kyle Korver, folks.
JJ's too focused on his podcast.
Look, I'm going to say something that I don't think has ever been uttered. This sentence.
Uh-oh.
The Hornets made a genius pick.
Oh, he's giving props to Michael Jordan. I know we've crapped on Michael Jordan as an owner, extensively on this network, but this one worked out.
They made a genius pick because what other player in the
Michael
draft
Jordan took it personally.
Mitch Kupchak has done
he did.
They've done a really good job of drafting since Mitch Kupchak got to Charlotte. Miles Bridges, really good pick for the 12th pick. PJ Washington, really good pick. The Martin Twins. The Martin Twins have been productive NBA players. Devontae Graham off the scrap heap.
Yeah.
Who would have thought Terry Rozier would have been fun? Their worst 2 players are their centers right now, and their centers aren't terrible. The Charlotte is, yes, if Charlotte upgraded at center, I think they'd be a legit playoff team. I think they're that good. But Biyombo's Bryce, I know we made a joke about Biyombo. He's actually been good.
Biyombo and the insurance salesman, Cody Zeller.
They've actually been good.
One's missing a hairline. One's missing offensive talent. What can you do? What can you do?
But yeah, Charlotte's in really good hands right now. And I want Devontae Graham on the Clippers, but that's neither here nor there because they don't need Devontae Graham. You might as well just get rid of him and just
honestly
around.
I agree. I had mentioned that we did some NBA pods a while back. I thought it was time to get rid of one of them or get rid of Terry Rozier.
Terry Rozier's been really good.
No.
But I don't think there was any other player in this draft that would have melded so smoothly with Washington and Bridges, who you could make a case are the cornerstones of the franchise.
Right, and they're explosive guys. So, having a guy that can distribute the ball like that really helps.
Yeah.
Airbnb for Ball and Bridges is one of the best nicknames in the league.
I'm down with that. I haven't heard that. I like that.
That's nice. Yeah, that's nice.
I got a good nickname for an award winner here later.
All right.
That I found on Basketball Reference.
We spent a lot more time on Rookie of the Year than I think we wanted to. So
let's
move on to Coach of the Year.
Oh, I'm excited for this.
This could be this could be the most variety.
I think so too. I think so.
So I'm going to throw it to Bryce first, Coach of the Year.
Yeah. So if you know his story, I think this becomes a little more significant. And it really resonated with me. And I just think he's done a heck of a job coaching. My Coach of the Year is Monty Williams. I like Monty Williams. Again, his wife passing away, really tough time. Goes into the crap show that is the Phoenix Suns, right? And we saw what he did with them in the bubble last season. They went on that miraculous run. Devin Booker got a lot more respect. It was building, but he got a lot more respect. They add Chris Paul this season. DeAndre Ayton is coming along. They're building something out there. And Monty Williams is the right guy. I've always liked Monty Williams. I like his demeanor. I like his leadership ability. I like his attitude towards the game of basketball. Give me Monty Williams, man. I think he deserves it. Heck of a guy, heck of a coach.
Great mentor.
Love him.
And Cam Johnson and Mikal Bridges, those picks were not Mikal Bridges because the Sixers.
No, the Cam Johnson pick was bad at the time.
You're saying you don't like the Zaire Smith trade, Alex?
The Sixers, if you just go through a list of the guys they've traded, just before 2018, if they kept all those guys, oh my God, they would have a super team right now. It'd be Dario Saric, Mikal Bridges, Markelle Fultz. Obviously, I don't think Fultz maybe would have worked out the same in Philly, but no. I mean, Monty's a great choice. I think Chris Paul has a little bit to do with it. I think Chris Paul changes your culture everywhere he goes. A lot to do with it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
They're playing the way they're basically the Thunder last year with Devin Booker, and that's terrifying. I'd rather have this team than last year's Thunder team. As much as I loved how Gallo and SGA played last year, I'd rather have this version.
You hit his funny bone. You hit his funny bone with Gallo.
Gallo was great last year. I know this is a controversial statement, guys.
He was good, JD. You can laugh at him this year all you want. I don't care, but last year he was good.
Into the playoffs.
I mean, listen.
And they still almost won that series.
I know. That's the damning thing about it. And y'all still chose Houston the next round versus.
All right. We're gonna hop off this train, but
I forgot about that.
The team.
They believed in small ball. Small ball is gonna win him. Is gonna beat LeBron James. Oh man.
Y'all just.
Hey, if you believe if you're picking in the Nets, you're making the same argument. I just want you to know.
Oh no, that's too funny. Come on, this is a different type of small ball. It's Kevin freaking Durant and Kyrie freaking Irving.
Kevin Durant hasn't played
Harden.
KD 7 feet.
All right, JD, you go next. I want to see who you got.
It's a difference in what I said earlier. You know, I gave Executive of the Year because of the name, because of the moves made, and Coach of the Year is going to Doc Rivers because Brett Brown completely shit the bed. Brett Brown is threes and everybody said, can they play together? Shut y'all ass up. Y'all ain't say this no other year but last year. Why? Because they were standing next to Al Horford. They tried to make Matisse Thybulle and Josh Richardson shooters. they went
Milton.
Shake Milton's actually good.
Shake Milton is good. I like Shake Milton. I really do. Yeah,
Brett, that's the wrong J Rich. That's the wrong J Rich. What?
And you look at it this year.
Blocking the backboard.
This year, Doc Rivers got them some shooters and his game over.
I mean, so Doc Rivers
pick for me.
Doc Rivers was my second choice. So my third choice was James Borrego of the Charlotte Hornets. This team is just, they have no rights to be as good as they are. And part of it's LaMelo, part of it's Gordon Hayward having a bounce back year. And part of it is that James Borrego realizing that this team has like no defensive talent other than the Martin twins and playing a shit ton of zone. Like, I don't have the exact.
Is this your pick?
No. This is my third pick.
Honorable mention.
Honorable mention. I mean, my coach of the year is Quinn Snyder. I think he's been great. Like, I mean, no, but this is my last Jazz pick. They're running like a machine. Like on offense, this team gets open threes. The ball movement is superior. Like, I mean, they move the ball incredibly well. There's they perfected the 4-out-1-in system that Houston was trying to run when Capella was there. Like, if Harden was surrounded by this team, I've
seen it in Orlando first with Dwight.
But they run it better than anyone I've ever seen run it. Like, it's just open shots all the time, and someone's gonna get an open shot. They're bombing threes. Like, they're leading the league in threes attempted, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, but can we just take a little second to understand that Utah is one of the teams that didn't have to deal with none of the COVID mess this year? Like, literally everything that happened with every other team, Utah has not had to go through.
The Lakers missed Dennis Schroeder. The Lakers missed Dennis Schroeder for 1 week, JD.
Okay, Anthony Davis was gone too. Listen, I'm gonna be honest.
What is new?
Listen, let's just state facts here. All the teams that's competitive and contenders has beat Utah. All the competitive and contender teams has beat Utah.
Oh, wait.
With this.
No. In your game that you brought up for Ben Simmons, do you know who won that game, JD? Do you know who won that game? That's right.
Yeah. Did Joel Embiid play?
You hyped up that performance and they lost by 11. Listen.
Jordan Clarkson had 50.
Exposed.
So
Jordan Clarkson.
If Ben Simmons has 42 and if I'm the coach and Ben Simmons has 42 and I lose, I'm resigning the next day. I don't give a fuck.
I talked about Ben Simmons killing Gobert. I said nothing about nobody else. Embiid didn't play. Why would I sit here and talk about the team? I talked about 1-on-1, the center matchup of that game. I'm not finna sit here and say, I'm not gonna sit here and think Philly gonna win without Embiid. Who the hell would say that? But I did see healthy teams beat them. Miami just beat them.
For the first half of the season, he's been the coach of the year. They're 27-9. Like, I mean, I don't think this is that hard. I know you hate the Jazz. They're 27-9.
I'm just saying, you got to take into account they didn't have to go through none of the same situations as nobody else, which is a great thing. The COVID situation, I mean, they learned last year when Rudy Gobert was a dumbass. They found a secure, safe plan last season.
Well, let's be real. There's nothing
away from everyone.
There's nothing to go out and do in Utah, so it's pretty easy for them to stay in their houses.
Ask Vernon Maxwell, he'll tell you.
Vernon Maxwell has my favorite Twitter account. He's just always like, "I'm sorry, Utah fans. I didn't know y'all had internet out there." It's all-time classic. All-time classic. But listen, I just think Utah has been the best team so far in the first half. Do I think they're the best team in the actual league? No. I think Brooklyn, LA's, probably Denver is better, right? I don't know if I would say Phoenix is better than the Jazz, but that's we'll see later if they match up in the playoffs. I mean, they're pretty matched. They're evenly matched. But listen, I just think Utah's been the best team for the first half of the season. They move the ball better than everyone else. They're just a well-coached team.
They've been the luckiest team.
I mean, debatable. I mean,
they've been the luckiest team. They no COVID to none of your big name guys.
Again, there's nothing to do in Utah. Why would they catch? What would they do to go catch COVID?
They kept Rudy Gobert away from everyone. Like, we seen what the dumbass did last year. They learned.
We know.
That was last year. This is this year. Give them credit.
Exactly. No, I'm saying it's because they learned that JD, they didn't have the same situations as everybody else.
They're also a veteran. Like, I mean, I get what you're saying. They're also a veteran team, though. Like, Donovan Mitchell's like the youngest guy on the team that's actually playing, and he's like 24, 25 at this point. Like, this is a young team, or this is an old team. Like, Bojan's old. Rudy's been in the league for 8 years now. Like, Joe Ingles is old as fuck. Mike Conley's been in the league since we were in elementary school, right? So these guys, this is a veteran team. So of course they're not getting COVID. They're smart.
Well, here's my pick. And the coach of the year,
a couple months ago they had it.
Coach of the year, I think is it's not wide open this year. I think you can pick a lot of guys. But my pick might turn some heads, and it's Luke Walton from the Kings. Luke Walton.
No, stop it. Stop it.
I knew he was about to make a joke as soon as he said turn some heads.
Stop.
No, my pick, and he's not going to win it, but he's my pick. Greg Popovich.
Interesting.
Some are saying this is Greg Popovich's best coaching job.
Listen, this team.
Shout out to Stugotz.
If you look at this team, just look at its roster. This team has no business being in the playoffs in the West. No business. And here's the main reason I'm going to give him this. Again, it's not going to happen, but here's the main reason I'm giving him the nod. LaMarcus Aldridge has either been ass or has not been on the court. And honestly, you can't even tell if he's on the court when he is actually out there. He's been so bad. On paper, he's probably their second best player just by name. And he's just been horrible. He's been horrible, and now he's going to leave.
I think he's washed.
But we've seen marked improvements from three guys, Murray, Walker, and Keldon Johnson. So I think they're actually going to make the playoffs. They're doing this with DeMar DeRozan. You know, people thought he might have been washed. That he was he wasn't good enough for the West, and now here he is. So
that's another guy. He could have won Most Improved a couple of years in a row now. He's been fucking great since he got to San Antonio. I don't know what it is, but just real quick before we move on. So I have Cleaning the Glass pulled up. Jakob Poeltl's point differential is plus 11. It's plus 11.5.
Please.
And when Dylan and I did the Spurs week and we had JD on, JD, wasn't his differential like 20 or something?
In like 21.
Like his differential was crazy. Like, because Marcus had been that bad. So thank goodness that they're letting Jakob Poeltl play. Jakob is good.
Yeah, Jakob can play. Definitely a Spurs guy for sure.
Well, guys, our penultimate award, Defensive Player of the Year. And I'm gonna swing it to AB first.
So okay. So I will preface this by saying if AD was healthy, he would be my third spot because in honorable mentions, because he is, even though he's been a down year for him, he's still incredibly important for the Lakers. But just because he hasn't been healthy, Rudy Gobert is my third spot. And then my second spot is Miles Turner. And then my first spot is Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons to me is by far the best defensive player in the league. Like, it's not even close.
It's not even close.
No, he can guard 1 through 5. Like, he is the only.
Not close. It's not close. Bro.
It's not close. He's by far the best defensive player in the league. Like, he can guard 1 through 5.
Bryce can't root for a Mori guy.
He shut down Dame Lillard. Spoiler alert. Some of you might already know this because I might have already spoiled it for some people. Dame is very high on my MVP list, and he shut down Dame, right?
Locked him up.
There was 1 week, right? The week before, the Sixers played the Trailblazers, and the Trailblazers blew them out 121-105 without Dame, right? And then the next week, and because Simmons didn't play in that blowout loss for the Sixers. The next week, Simmons and Lillard are both playing, and Simmons just eats Lillard for lunch.
And locked up Luka.
He can guard Luka. He's the guy I would trust. I would trust him on basically everyone but Joel and Jokic. Like Jokic, I mispronounced his name. I don't know why I mispronounced his name, but I would trust him on basically everyone but those guys. And that's
not
saying
a real
something.
fan. You're not a real fan, AB. If
You're casual. Casual.
Caleb Lynn hates you now.
You don't watch the games, AB. Come on.
Yeah, you're casual.
Listen, I think
Caleb Lynn hates you now. We know he's really a Denver guy.
Simmons was on my third team All NBA, and it was mostly because of his defense. Like, listen, Joel is their MVP, and he might be my MVP of the league. I'm not going to spoil that right now, but Ben Simmons is their defensive MVP. He can do everything. He covers for so many mistakes for everybody, and it's not even close for me for Ben Simmons for Defensive Player of the Year.
All right, JD, who you got?
Ben Simmons. Well, I've said it on this show every time we talk about it. I'm not going into much more. It's Ben Simmons.
All right, Bryce.
You know what? I'm going to take every opportunity to defend my guys and my guys alone. I'm going with Miles Turner. He does not get enough respect. He doesn't get enough.
All right.
He doesn't. 3.4 blocks a game. He averages 1 steal a game for a center.
That's Joel Embiid.
Take that to the bank. Okay, I'm not talking about that right now, JD. He absolutely is, but I'm not talking about it. 3.4 blocks a game. Take that to the bank. I respect him.
I would like to
4 for a long time.
I would like to interject that I just respected him by having him second in my rankings over Anthony Davis and Rudy Gobert.
More than the NBA. The NBA refuses to recognize Miles Turner's existence, man. It's just...
Yeah, that's true. They got Jamal Murray in their first team all defense this year.
They have what?
Him and LeBron.
They have LaMarcus Aldridge on the All-NBA defensive team over Miles Turner.
Jakob Poeltl.
Hey, give me Miles Turner for Defensive Player of the Year. Give it to him.
Well, my Defensive Player of the Year.
Zach, if you don't pick Miles Turner, you're not a real Pacers fan. You're a casual.
Zach, don't fall it. Zach, think Miles Turner.
Go ahead, be a casual, Zach. It's fine.
Miles Turner, Zach.
My Defensive Player of the Year is none other than Miles Turner.
Yeah, baby. Yeah. Pacers fans stick together.
Homers.
Yeah, baby.
No, I'm the king of objectivity. If anyone who listens to this network knows, totally objective. Totally objective.
You look up a picture of objective. You look up a picture of objective in the dictionary, and Zach Griffith's picture is the one right next to it.
And when it comes to the Academy Awards or NBA Awards, I'm always objective. Or
Doctor Strange appearing in WandaVision.
Look, it's totally embarrassing he's not getting talked about more. I know you said you had him second, but like if you watch ESPN for some reason, he's not even on the radar. He's leading the league in blocks by 0.7. Like that is pretty. That's got to be one of the biggest margins at this point in the season ever. Totally anchors our defense, Bryce. I mean, you know this.
Oh, dude, 100%.
Dude, without him, we're fucked on defense. So we've seen it. The games he's missed.
Yeah.
And 100%. I'm gonna be honest. Nobody shit on him on this network more than I have. Nobody. And this is the Miles I've always wanted to see. Just some consistency. That's all I've ever wanted from him was consistency. I'm finally getting it. Still want some more rebounding from him.
Then gets no respect for consistency.
But this is the best I've ever seen him play, and it's not even close. It's not even close.
So let me rebut real quick. Just just to counter real quick. The only difference for me between Miles and Simmons, I think Simmons is the superior defender in all contexts, except for rim protecting. I think Miles Turner, weak side shot blocking I think he's the best at it in the league. And
He's the best shot blocker in the league, I would say.
I wouldn't say the best because listen. No.
I'll take him over Rudy Gobert 10 times out of 10.
But teams are terrified of Rudy Gobert. Like you watch
10 times out of 10.
Here's my thing on Rudy, right? I was watching just when we were doing Hawks week, right? And I know this is the Hawks, but Trae Young was terrified. Trae Young, John Collins, Hunter, Reddish, they were all terrified to go in the paint when Rudy was in the game. Once he was out, they were attacking the rim with impunity.
Because they're all young and they're scared.
A young team.
A vet's not going to do that.
They're terrified to play defense.
Do I think Rudy
Ben Simmons wasn't scared?
Do I think Rudy's incredibly overrated? Yes. Might Rudy possibly be the subject of my Callout Corner later? Yes. But I do think that his impact in the regular season, let me repeat that last part, in the regular season can't be denied.
It's undeniable.
But back to what I was saying, because I got off on a tangent there. The Sixers defense is 6th and the Pacers defense has recovered to 12th. But like at one point when Dylan and I were doing Pacers week, it was like 15th. Their defense is starting to tick back up. And I think the no training camp with Bjorkgren really hurt them, because if McMillan was still the coach, I think the team would be fine, all things considered, because they'd still have the defensive principles there. It's a whole new coach. And Miles has done a great job under the circumstances, like freelancing, learning the new system. I just think Simmons has been better personally.
It's all fair. Very fair takes. We got 2 Turners and 2 Simmons on that, so that was nice.
I mean, it was divided along Indianapolis lines, I'll say.
Yeah, it was. And
Not
it all
really
came from a place of objectivity, always. MVP.
Not really a debate there.
MVP. Without a doubt, the biggest award, and pretty debatable as of late. So,
shit.
JD, who's your MVP?
Joel Embiid. I've been saying this for a while now. I'm not finna go into what he's been doing. It's Joel Embiid, and I will argue versus any other name said.
Bryce?
I'm here to incite violence. Give me James Harden for the MVP, baby.
No.
What?
Baby. I'm here to incite violence.
You don't get to praise him in any way.
Oh, yes.
No,
yes. Oh, yes. Let me explain here.
Listen.
I think I might leave the Zoom call.
You don't get to do it, Bryce.
Oh, yeah. Yes, I do. Jimbo Slice. James Harden, baby.
Ridiculous.
Yes.
You're doing this pick strictly for the violence, right? Like, this is the only reason you're doing this pick?
So, okay, I'll explain that. I'll explain why I picked
This is like you picking Josh Allen for MVP. It's ridiculous. You can't.
I didn't pick Josh Allen. I would never
that's what I'm saying.
That's foolish.
That's what I'm saying.
No, he's saying this would be like you picking. It would be like you picking Lamar Jackson for MVP.
I see.
That's like saying Ohio State was go beat Alabama.
Okay. All right.
Well, he did say
fine.
that.
Whatever. I did say that. I would be my guys. Here's why I picked Harden. Okay. So for me, right now, I think, in my opinion, I find this MVP race very open. I think there are a lot of great candidates in the league right now that could win this. You could talk about Joel Embiid. You could talk about Nikola Jokic, which, by the way, we're talking about 2 centers in the MVP race. When was the last time we did that?
I would say Shaq and Hakeem.
Yeah, right. I think we discussed that in the chat before. It's been forever. I like that. We're getting that again. But what James Harden has been able to do with the Nets in such a short period of time with the talent around him has been nothing but short of remarkable. And this is the Harden that I've been begging to see since we talked about him in his Rockets days. I crapped on him when he was in Houston for his play style.
You didn't respect him.
Yes, I don't, because the way he was playing was not going to win him anything. It wasn't. And now look, listen to his averages. He's averaging 25 points a game, 8 assists a game, or 8 rebounds a game, 11 assists a game. The man is almost averaging a triple-double. I like what I see out of James Harden. I love it. shoots 48% from the field, 40% from three. I love it. Give me James Harden for the MVP.
All right, JD, let me start because I know you want to go in on him, but I think I'll say a lot of what you want to say. Bryce, he can't be MVP. He quit on his team. He quit. The man quit on his team 8 games into the season.
It worked out for Anthony Davis.
Listen,
who cares?
But AD didn't get MVP. Like, he wasn't in MVP consideration that season that he
wasn't in no consideration that season.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all, folks.
Listen, Dylan and I both agreed. Okay, Harden's probably been the best guard in the league since he's gotten to Brooklyn. However, we both made the conscious decision not to put him on the first team because of this exact reason. He has
fine.
Listen, I'm not like, the super moralistic guy. I love steroids in baseball. Bring back the long ball. I love, and bring back Roger Clemens throwing bats at Mike Piazza.
Not good times.
I mean, not good times for Mike Piazza, but good times for television watchers. But listen, I'm not like this generally moralistic guy, right? Like, I don't usually give a fuck about like, paying college athletes, right? Like, whatever, do what you got to do to win. But that was gross. What he did in Houston, is despicable. He should not be in NBA. He wasn't in my top 5. He wasn't even in my top 10.
That's a shame. If
I'd have made a top 10, Bryce, Giannis would have been there. Would have been on there ahead of Harden. Kyrie probably would have been on there ahead of Harden. Like, I can't in good conscience. Jimmy Butler would have been on there ahead of Harden.
Come on.
Jimmy Butler's played as many games this season as James.
Bryce, you're lucky we haven't kicked you off the Zoom call.
Come on.
As James Harden has in Brooklyn.
I woke up and chose violence today.
Yeah, you did.
Treason.
Jesus
You basically
Christ.
committed treason against yourself, Bryce.
No.
Listen.
I asked for it. I asked for this from James Harden. I should reward him for that. This is me rewarding him
Not this
for that.
season.
Yeah, no, I'm here for it. Give Jimbo Slice the MVP.
All right, before I go on my things, JD, rip this man to shreds.
Bryce. You want to give it to James Harden?
Yeah, I do. Give it to him right now. Wrap it up. Put it. Give it to FedEx.
You said because of what he's doing in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And his numbers.
Yeah.
Bryce, I'm be honest.
Dog.
It's easy to do that when you playing with superstars. It's
Sure.
easy. It's super easy to do that when you got a system that you already know in place. It's easy to do that. Oh, but let's not talk about how it's easy. He's not being double teamed. He's not being triple teamed. You know who is? Joel Embiid. You know who doing it on both sides of the ball? Joel Embiid. You know who's the number 1 team in the East? Who they led by? Joel Embiid. Not Harden. Harden not even the best player on this team. He's only the best player right now because KD out. But he's not the best player on the team. Now, I will say he is my number 2.
2? Okay. I'll take that. I'll take that.
James Harden's your number 2?
James Harden's my number 2.
That's a W for me. That's a W for me then because I know this is going to be very unpopular.
I didn't have him in my top 5, and I'm insulted that both of you are going down this road.
James Harden is my number 2. I'm be honest. Outside of what he did in Houston, that matters and all that. They done bust everybody. Only team that has beat them that's on that same level is Philly since he's been there. They have smoked everybody. I mean, everybody led by James Harden. We talked about Phoenix, smoked them. Clippers, smoked them. Lakers, smoked them.
By smoked them, you mean James Harden flopped on a Kawhi layup? Then yes, they smoked them.
Yeah, the second game. I watched both. They just won the first game. Second game, and the first game Kevin Durant played too. But the second game, Harden flopped. Kawhi, my guy, we know that. But
is that an MVP play to you, Bryce?
I'll be honest.
Hey, he did what he had to do to win.
Hey, and see, it's stuff like that. MVP. Kawhi should have flopped too.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how many MVP votes Harden will get, but I am told Ronald McDonald will be casting his vote for James Harden and MVP.
What about Pennywise?
Yeah, come on.
What about Pennywise, Zach?
Not that kind of clown.
Okay, listen. So based on the way this has gone, I'm gonna go in reverse order, and I guarantee one of you, if not both of you, are going to be pissed at me with my MVP pick. So okay. So number 5 is Kawhi Leonard. Listen, this man is just pure greatness at this point. He's a machine. He's the Wings successor to Tim Duncan. LeBron,
as long as he's getting his credit, that's all I ask.
Yeah, LeBron is LeBron. What is there to say at this point? Jokic has had to deal with. Jokic is my third guy. Jokic has had to deal with an absolute mess of a team this year, and he's been in phenomenal shape. I don't think he's been as valuable as Embiid.
Is this going where I think it's going? As Dame is your MVP? Oh hell
yeah, baby! I'm cool with that, man. I'm cool with that.
All right. So let me keep going. Let me keep going.
Alex screen tested this pick with me, and it was received very well.
It's okay. So yes, Embiid is my number 2, and Embiid has just been a monster this year. This is by far his best year. The thing that sticks out about Embiid is just the amount of free throws he's drawing. He's basically doing a James Harden impression at the center. Man. But listen, Dame. Oh my God, man.
Come on, baby.
This team. All right, let me pull up the standings, okay? Because
Bryce.
This team has no business being in the 5th seed. They have no business being 21-14. They're 5.5 games behind the Jazz. CJ McCollum's only played 13 games. Nurkic has barely played. Melo's been probably their 3rd best player. By the way, Melo, a guy I seriously consider in the runner-up for 6-man, but didn't give it to him because I think Boucher's been better. But their 2nd best player this year has probably been Covington. And if Covington's your 2nd best player, usually that spells disaster.
Hey, don't disrespect Gary Trent Jr.
Gary Trent's listen, this team is full of guys.
What about Jokic light Nurkic, Bryce?
Hey, don't you hate on Nurkic?
I'll hate on him when you say he's Jokic light.
I stand by it. I don't back down.
Well, you need to back down.
Jokic is a top 10 player in the league, and Nurkic is a top
legal team.
Nurkic is a dollar store Joakim Noah.
Wow.
JD, do you disagree with that comparison? Nurkic being dollar store Joakim Noah.
Wow.
I agree with that, but just finish because I got something for you.
Can we respect Enes Kanter too?
He's been
please
double machine.
Kanter's
been 2020 up right before the All-Star break.
So okay, here's a comparison. I think all three of you guys
Phoenix.
All 3 of you guys will appreciate this comparison for Enes Kanter. Enes Kanter is the Tim Wakefield of the NBA. You can count on him to throw 200 innings, and then when the postseason rolls around, he is in your bullpen, and he is probably not coming out of the bullpen for you. So that's Enes Kanter's comparison for me.
Hey, I got Enes Kanter in fantasy, and I got Dame in fantasy. All I know is I get points.
So
that's all I know.
Listen, Dame. They're throwing a shit ton of different coverages at him, right? He is being triple teamed basically every time he runs a pick and roll, and it doesn't matter because he's so good at dribbling out of it. He can get to wherever he wants on the floor. He is amazing, right? And he is a great passer. He can make his teammates so much better. Listen, this team has no business being 5th in the West now. The West is, listen, if Portland was in the East, they'd definitely be the 4th seed, and they'd have they might be the 3rd seed because of how poorly Milwaukee's played so far in terms of where they were last year. Portland to me is just, listen, Dame has no business. This team has no business being the 5th seed, and it's 150% because of Dame Lillard. So that's my case. JD, rip me to shreds because I know that's what you want to do.
First of all, how dare you? Listen, didn't he just say earlier, Bryce, that his MVP got locked up by one man?
Yeah.
My MVP can't be locked up by one man. That domination is gonna reign. That terror rains down. And second of all, let's talk about why they the 5th seed in the West. Let's talk about the teams they're ahead of. Denver hasn't been healthy all year. Okay, cool. They not performing.
Oh no, Gary Harris has been hurt.
The Spurs. Ooh, the Spurs. Damon's better than the whole roster. Dallas. Dallas was 7th seed last year. Did we really think they was gonna jump top 4? The Grizzlies, Memphis. Isn't that the team they beat out last year for the spot? Okay, 10. Golden State. Oh my gosh. Oh, jeez. Oh, somebody. They're better than Golden State. They don't have. It's Golden State. It's Steph Curry, Draymond Green, and who else?
Are you hating on Damian Lillard right now?
I'm not hating on Dame, but he's saying
it better not be. It's Dame time. Baby.
Listen, I love Damian Lillard, but MVP over Embiid, I can't do that. Can't do that. We talking about, you said they have no business being 5th seed in the West. Okay, then let's keep going. The Pelicans. I'm not going in on them ass. They losing right now to Minnesota.
They're probably on TNT this week.
Yeah, baby.
They losing right now to Minnesota, the worst team in the West. That covers 2 teams they better than. The Thunder. Okay. The Kings. Houston. Oh. The only team that they the only team that they better than right now by 1 game, by half a game at that, is Denver. Nobody else shocks me at all. But could you tell me that Philly would be number 1 in the East, led by Embiid, when Kevin Durant was healthy?
Listen, okay. You don't make any wrong points. My counter to that is the Sixers play in the East. Let's go through the East standings since you wanted to play this game. All right.
Okay. Let's do that.
Okay. And you just tell me if they played in the West where this team would rank. Okay. This version of the Boston Celtics, okay, they suck this year compared to where they were last year.
Yeah, they suck.
This version of the Boston Celtics, the Sixers own them every single time they played them. Okay. The Knicks. God, what a fucking joke that they're the 5th seed, right? Like,
so we go start at 4th.
Well, that's what you're basically doing. Like,
I started based off where Portland was. If we go start with Philly, let's start from the top, since that's where they are.
Well, what I'm doing is comparing the Eastern Conference to the West. Miami's the 4th best team in the conference. They had to deal with a lot of COVID shit where, like, I don't think that this is a controversial take at all.
And they bust Utah ass.
Charlotte is the 7th seed. If Charlotte was in the West, they'd be where the Kings are. I love the Hornets, but they'd be where the Kings are. Toronto is just a fucking shell without Ibaka and Gasol because they don't have any center depth. So,
and Siakam not a first option.
Levine is kind of a one-man team at this point.
I know he's not a first option. God damn it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just,
bona fide. You forgot bona fide.
Hey, in case you were wondering, the Pelicans are on ESPN on Sunday night.
Nothing new.
If you want to see their latest loss, they play the Clippers. If you want
yeah. Kawhi about to tear that out.
But anyway, again. Continue, AB.
Okay. So the Pacers have been ravaged by injuries this year. They're missing TJ Warren and Karis LeVert, 2 guys that would that are like responsible for like 35 points a game combined. Right. So they'd be getting a lot of firepower back once those guys come back. Atlanta's been really bad this year. Washington is the 12th seed, which tells
Hawks been bad.
Washington is the 12th seed, which tells you all you need to know about the Eastern Conference.
Lloyd Pierce.
And then Cleveland, Orlando,
Gallinari,
Travis Schlenk.
The only team that's as bad as those bottom 3 teams in the West is Minnesota. Like, maybe I'll throw in Houston in there too. But that's it. Like, if the Kings were in the East, they'd be a top 6 seed because they are way more talented than half these teams. Like, the bottom of the West Conference, like, hell, this version of the Rockets with John Wall and Eric Gordon without Christian Wood would probably be in the top 10 of the Eastern Conference. The East is absolute ass. And yes, Joel is doing a great job. And he was 2nd. I respect him a lot. But I think that what Dame is doing in the tougher conference shouldn't go ignored. And I think a lot of people are going to ignore it.
It shouldn't, but I'm just saying one man can't guard my MVP.
Yeah, hold on. I'm curious.
I think that's important.
Zach, who's your MVP pick?
Joel Embiid. It's Joel Embiid.
Come on.
What do you mean? Come on.
Come on.
So wait, okay.
He's the best player
Incoming
in the
knee
East this
injury.
year.
Incoming knee injury.
And look.
Inbound.
Look.
He's only missed 4 games, which is going to be a career low by a long shot. A fucking long shot. It's not even close.
And the recent ones is coming due to the COVID tracing.
Yeah,
So, okay.
And he's finally on pace with Jokic. We always knew those two guys were the best big men in the league, the best two, and he's finally on pace with Jokic.
And JD, just before we move on,
It's
why
two
do you-
sides of the ball too, AB. It's two sides of the ball.
Yeah, and Embiid hasn't been their best player this year on defense.
Yeah, because of Ben Simmons, but he's
The team
still
falls apart when Simmons is-
unstoppable force down there.
The team falls apart when Simmons is off the floor.
True.
On defense. I think that, listen, Joel Embiid's defensive impact at this point is overblown.
No.
Listen, I don't think he's as good as he was in like a couple of years ago. Right?
Is it better than Dame's?
Oh, I mean, of course, but we're comparing apples and oranges here.
I'm just saying. I don't remember saying Damian Lillard was a good defender ever.
I mean, he's not terrible. I mean, okay. Steph actually is like the only good. Like,
Except for Robert Covington,
Yeah, except for coming.
Derrick Jones Jr.
point guards don't really play defense anymore, and I think the ones like Beverly are kind of overrated, right? Because
Aaron.
Fox doesn't play defense at all.
Oh, what?
No,
He plays defense.
I mean, like not well, but he.
Brogdon?
Drew Holiday.
Steph Curry is one of the best superstar point guards at actually playing defense, and that's a problem. Because, listen, I think
Wait, you don't
Dylan
think
and I had this conversation too yesterday. I know JD's gonna not react well to this. I know he's gonna flip out about this. I think if you put Ben Simmons on the Nuggets and you put Jamal Murray on the 76ers, I think the Nuggets are a lot better. And I think the Nuggets are better than the 76ers. I think they're the best team in the Western Conference. I think Ben Simmons is that impactful on defense.
First of all, Jamal Murray don't deserve to be in the same.
All right, okay. Here.
As Ben Simmons.
Okay, Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr., and whoever the third guy you want to replace on the Nuggets. Like that much better.
Well, guys, I think it's a good time to move on to wild cards. We've hit every award, so now I will throw it to Bryce first. Mr. Shadday, give us your wild card.
Yes. So Michigan State has recently announced, I don't know if you guys saw this. I'm hoping not, because this is just cracks me up. Michigan State has struck a deal, an advertising deal with Rocket Mortgage. So now anytime the Michigan State Spartans are introduced, they are introduced not by just the Michigan State Spartans. They are announced as the Michigan State Spartans presented by Rocket Mortgage.
Travesty.
That's terrible.
Yeah, baby. So my question to you guys, to you gentlemen, if somebody introduced you and somebody had to say presented by, what company would you like to be presented by?
Oh God. This is Zach, you lead off. I feel like this is a good question for you.
Zach Griffith, presented by Cyberdyne Industries from Terminator. Zach Griffith, presented by Oscorp Industries.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. I love it. I love it.
Zach Griffith, presented by B&B Industries from The Wire.
That's a good
right.
one, Bryce.
This is an excellent question. I went a little more practical than Zach. Alex Burr, presented by Peanut M&Ms. Alex Burr, presented by literally anyone who makes quiche. I love quiche. Quiche is divine.
What? Quiche.
Quiche is divine. It's like egg pie.
Quiche. That would be the last thing I would feel like I would hear from you as, dude, I love quiche.
Oh my God, quiche. You can ask Anna. Anna's my girlfriend, for those that don't know. Anna knows I love no food more than I love quiche. Like,
oh, that's funny.
It's my absolute favorite.
Wow.
Also, Alex Burr, presented by, I don't know, Buffalo Wild Wings. You know, somewhere like just anywhere that serves wings.
It's fire.
You know, I don't like Hooters though. That's my hot take. I don't like Hooters.
Actually, if you've listened to my X-Men monologue, mine would be Zach Griffith presented by the law firm of the incompetent government officials of the Marvel Universe.
Ah, yes. Yes. They do great work.
Shout out to Quiche. Quiche is like a guy,
I'm shocked though, you're quiche. Wow.
Yeah, you got that.
JD, who you presented by?
Yeah, JD, what do you got, man?
Either Magnum or Trojan, because I'm trying to fuck the world.
Oh, hell!
Jerry.
Trying to fuck the world, man.
Oh, God.
Oh, that's too good. Oh,
Well, that's fitting because I talked about Silence of the Lambs yesterday, and there's a graphic scene where a man does something involving that region of his body with it. Yep.
Nice.
All right, now seriously, if I was to be presented by anyone, like any brand,
Toretto's Garage.
no, it'll be Air Jordan.
Oh, not New Balance?
No, bro, the GOAT needs to be represented by another GOAT.
That's crazy. I didn't hear you say Chris Duhan's name, so I'll just act like I misheard you.
Forget that guy ever played for us. That's a Knicks guy, not a Bulls
the Knicks
guy.
too. Yeah, played for the Knicks.
JD and I, it's not an inside joke because I just JD will do like ask me anything on Snapchat, and I'll always just say Chris Duhan was the GOAT or Kirk Heinrich was the GOAT, just to mess with him. And
Literally the same one. I don't receive nothing else but that from. And I know it's AB every time. If it's anonymous, I still know it's AB. Nobody else say Kirk Heinrich or Chris Duhan in life other than his family and AB.
That's why I didn't call it an inside joke, because I just barrage him. So, Zach, who's going next for the wild card?
We'll throw it to JD. What's your wild card?
So, y'all know me, man. I look into a lot of different things, and man is coming in the sports realm. From boxing. 2 in a row in the boxing community. But we have 2 former world heavyweight champions scheduled to make a fight right now. They both got the same promoters of PBC. You guys want to take a shot at who these former world champions are? Heavyweight.
Listen, I know Jack
Tyson. But I know that's probably wrong.
No.
It's recent memory champions. Recent memory champions.
Thank God.
So they both actually lost their belts to the current champions. One being Deontay Wilder.
Anthony Joshua?
Nah. It's the guy that put that L on Anthony Joshua's record.
Oh, Andy Ruiz.
Ruiz.
No. Hey, that dude has made a massive body transformation.
Shredded now.
Bro, he looks legit. If you guys haven't seen his body, y'all need to look it up.
Turns out if you have a budget, you can actually work on your body. Who knew?
He went from looking like a potato, a real life potato. Now he actually look like he's an athlete. But I'm so excited for this fight because neither one of them could get a fight from anywhere else, and we know the controversy behind the Wilder fight. And for Anthony Joshua, the chump, you lost to Ruiz. He gave you your rematch. You win by decision after he knocked you out the first time. He knocked you out.
Yeah, it was embarrassing.
And you refuse to give him a rematch. You chump. You chump. But yeah, I thought that was exciting considering the fact that
nice.
Wilder put the heavyweight boxing back on the map. And you know, he been silent since the loss to Fury. But Ruiz, we haven't seen Ruiz since his last loss to Joshua. And we get to see a newly shaped Ruiz. I'm excited.
Very nice.
It'd be good.
AB, you're
So
welcome.
I'm going back out of sports. So I was listening to a podcast, and it's March, so everyone's doing all kinds of brackets, right? One of the brackets they were doing was appetizers at a restaurant. So, gentlemen, I'm going to ask you, what is your favorite appetizer to get from a restaurant?
Oh, hell, this is easy. It's fried pickles.
Oh, great choice. Okay, then I have to go with something different. I am going with Mott Sticks.
That was my choice as well. That's my choice as well.
I like wings. This
Very versatile. They're very versatile, I gotta say.
I mean, there's a lot of different appetizers you can choose from, and I think that appetizers, it's a great conversation to have. But mozzarella sticks or onion rings are the goats of.
Onion rings is my sass. Love onion rings.
Yeah, onion rings are the two goats for me. Like that's the MJ and LeBron of the appetizer game. But that was mine. I thought it was gonna be an interesting curveball.
I gotta give some love to calamari as well. Calamari.
Hey, yeah, in the right setting, absolutely.
Yes.
I've never had calamari, and I'd probably be allergic to it, so I'm not gonna try it anytime soon.
Fair enough.
God, the good Lord blessed me with I wouldn't say blessed, but gave me a terrible allergy to like shellfish, like oysters and clams and stuff like that. So
not quiche though.
Missing out on a lot.
Fuck no. If I was allergic to quiche, I'd rather die. It's so fluffy, you know what I mean? Like, I don't like eggs.
So fluffy.
I don't like eggs is the funny part, but I love quiche.
That is weird.
Zach, give us some science. Give us some science, Zach.
No.
I don't have any science. I just have some praise to give. I'm going to give some praise to Metronet. Metronet. I have had Metronet for less than 5 hours here at the house, and it's the best internet I've ever had.
Wow.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous how good it is. My room is notorious for having a shitty internet connection. Full bars all of a sudden. Metronet. Shout out.
Love to see it. You love to see it, guys. You really do.
Hopefully, if your brother has friends over for WandaVision episodes in the future, we won't have a snafu like we had the other night. But
yeah, hopefully not.
This is great news for me, Zach. Personally, you've made my life a lot easier, so I appreciate you.
Nice Callout Corner. It's time.
All right.
So we want to save the serious one for last, right?
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah, Bryce, you're the serious one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So okay, let me start. I'm sick and tired of Rudy Gobert's shit. All right.
I'm here for it.
Listen.
Of course. In the front row.
Listen. You're the Jazz. Markets don't matter anymore. Kevin Durant played in Oklahoma fucking City for 10 years and was the second most popular, not maybe the second most because Kobe was alive, but one of the 5 most popular players in the league playing in Oklahoma City. Oklahoma City should not have an NBA team. And yet they are one of the most popular teams around the country because they not only had Kevin Durant, they had Russell Westbrook, they had James Harden for a little bit. They had Thabo Sefolosha. I don't know why I threw Sefolosha in there. I just wanted to shout out Thabo Sefolosha. But like the Thunder were a national team they're not a national team now for the better part of like 10 years.
From like 2010 to 2016, they were always on.
And then even with Westbrook was still like Westbrook is still one of the most popular players in the league. So listen, market size doesn't matter. The officials are not to get you, despite what Zach Griffith may have you believe. Like, I think that
they're out to get us.
It's him and Donovan Mitchell, right? Listen, you guys know I try to be objective in my analysis of basketball players. Hell, I did it with Rudy earlier in the episode. But at a certain point, watching you and try to judge your game is not fun because you keep bitching off the court. Like, you're a good player. Rudy, you are going to go down in history as one of the best rim protectors of all time. And no one's going to give a fuck because you bitch all the time. You cried because you didn't make the All-Star game. You
bitch.
Like, it's just so frustrating that, listen, I'm just sick of his shit. And I'm tired. You get the same amount of respect that everyone else gets from the rest. Hell, you get more respect. You've won 3 defensive players of the. I don't actually know how many's won off the top of my head.
He didn't deserve them all.
But like JD, when you win defensive player of the year, you're allowed to get away with more fouls than you usually get away with.
Yeah,
like you get more respect from the referees. So the fact that he thinks they don't get respect from the referees is patently absurd. They just don't have a team that's conducive to drawing fouls. Their whole system is, boom, boom, boom around the perimeter, try to shoot threes. The reason the Rockets system worked so well is because James Harden could get to the foul line 12 times a game. Like, you guys aren't a team. Donovan Mitchell isn't James Harden and never will be James Harden. Donovan Mitchell probably isn't one of the 5 best guards in his own conference right now. Like,
he's not.
You can make an argument SGA's been better. Speaking of the Thunder.
I love SGA.
So I'm just sick of the Jazz. I'm sick of their bullshit. I just want them to shut the hell up because they're a good basketball team and they're really fun for me to watch play basketball. But if you keep talking, I'm not going to enjoy it as much.
All right.
Fuck Utah.
Before I throw it to JD, I'll give mine because mine's not serious at all. I'm calling out JTS Brown Bourbon. And here's why. You made me throw up this weekend.
Bro, what?
It didn't stop me from drinking Heineken right after, but it made me feel better when I threw up, but I didn't want to throw up. So JTS Brown, fuck you. JD, your call out.
Oh, man.
Well, I don't have one.
Oh, are you okay?
Wow.
Hey, some weeks I
AB
don't
called
have
out
one,
Go Bear
so-
Forums.
I really haven't had much to be pissed off about.
All right. Well, I definitely got something to be upset about. We all enjoy video games, guys. But sometimes we get mad as heck. We get mad as heck. Yeah, AB doesn't play video games. He's too busy getting that work.
Spider-Man.
Get some in there. But even if you get upset at a video game and you're streaming, gives you no right to say words that you quote unquote don't know what they mean. And yes, folks, we're talking about Myers Leonard. I don't accept that apology that he put out. I think that was misinformed as well. To say that you just don't know what the meaning of that word is, I think is absurd. I think it's wrong. I think it's indefensible. He paused before he said it. You took a long pause to gather your thoughts and throw something out there. Okay? And let me put this out there for all athletes, right? You know how many kids are watching you play video games because they see you on TV, they can't get enough of you, so we'll watch them play Call of Duty, Fortnite, Apex Legends, Madden, NBA 2K, whatever it is. You have to know this stuff. You have to be the role model and the good example that yes, you have to be a responsible adult. Stop acting like a child and like everybody else in these Call of Duty lobbies that say ignorant stuff and they know exactly what they're saying. So and the best response that I've seen, Julian Edelman. Big props to Julian Edelman. The open letter to Myers Leonard, even offering to take him to a Jewish dinner. I think it'd be great. I think it'd give a good understanding. Just be better. Just these athletes, they're great people, but they reveal a whole lot of their character when they're playing these video games, and some of it isn't pretty for some of these kids and role models. I know if a lot of parents heard what these athletes are saying on their video game streams, I don't think they would let their kids watch them or even like be fans of them or buy them their jerseys. I think that impacts a lot of different things. So I think that needed to be addressed. Not a big fan of that. Myers Leonard, do better. Don't look ignorant and don't play dumb. Come out and apologize. You knew what you said. You knew what you meant. Be better.
And Zach, can I make a call out off of Bryce's call out?
Yeah.
Fuck any of you who say, oh, this is just how people talk in game rooms. He's a grown fucking man. He's almost 30. Like, there's no reason for him to be talking like this in the first place, right? Kids, I'm not going to justify it. I can understand why they say it, little white kids are little shits, right? But again, I'm not justifying it. I'm just trying to rationalize it in my head. There's no absolute excuse for you using a racial slur like this. And there's no reason for like people like, oh, you just have never played in a game room before. You you couldn't tolerate that kind of the way they speak in a video game chat room, which I mean, all of us have played online. I'm sure all of us have heard how people talk online. Like,
you know how many times I have been racially slurred, and y'all know I talk shit.
Yeah.
just imagine my shit talking being matched with an 8-year-old little 8-year-old white boy.
Yeah, and like, 8-year-olds don't tend to know better. Like, it sucks that they're doing it, but I'm not giving them the benefit of the doubt. I'm just rationalizing it in my own head why they act.
Miseducated.
Yeah. Like, they're not like, they're little children. They don't know any better. Myers Leonard is a professional athlete making $10 million a year. He paused. He meant exactly what he said. You don't know, like, you don't pause and say, oh, you fucking, I'm not going to say the word because it's gross, but like, you don't pause if you're not going to say it with your whole goddamn chest. And that's what pisses me off, right? You could have just said motherfucker. Like, what's so bad about saying motherfucker? Like,
it wasn't disrespectful enough.
Like,
yeah, that's probably, unfortunately, that's probably the case.
You just don't use that word if you don't know what it means.
Yeah. And AB, I want to piggyback when you finish.
All right, let me just wrap this up. Again, this is very simple. Fuck you if you're saying, oh, this is how we talk in gamer rooms. It shouldn't be how you talk. Just because that's the way you talk doesn't mean that it's the way it should be. Just because things are done a certain way doesn't mean that's the way they should be. That's generally a good life principle to follow. So, JD, go ahead.
Yeah, I had this conversation early on today, and I was talking to one of my brothers. He like, bro, you know how they be online talking woo woo, and like I was telling him, I'm like, bro, I say, if you are an athlete, if you choose to stream anything, be mad for the shit you say. It's just that simple. But the fact that people saying he's playing the game, this is how they talk on the game. He has an influence. If you can't control what you say, why the fuck are you doing it? Don't stream it then. If you simply can't watch your mouth, don't stream it. Cause honestly, just because this is what's going on, as AB said, it doesn't mean this is what is right. Just because, and I've had to grow up and deal with it a lot. Growing up, and you have to see things that become familiar to you, that when you go in other diverse groups and it's not as familiar to them, you realize how fucked up it is that your community is. Like in our friends group, you all know I'm very open about just simple shit like how I had to deal with racism regularly at the school that we attended, how I have multiple people that was close to me die. These things we make normal. This shit shouldn't be normal. Using racial slurs or anything should not be a normal for anybody. So the fact that you saying, you know how they talk in game. First of all, this online shit get people killed. I know it firsthand. So the fact that you saying this kind of stuff because nobody can see you, and then you an athlete, that's making it 10 times worse. That's why everybody talking about it, and it seemed like it's a hailstorm. And he's getting off with a light tap on the hand. And we can blame the miseducation, but at the same time, when you are ignorant to things, you shouldn't speak on these things. You can use that you didn't know much about it. So why would you even use the word then? Why use a word? Why use a word you don't know nothing about? I've heard the word. I never knew what that word meant. I never knew what it meant. So it would never be part of my vocabulary. You don't sit here and use words that's not part of your vocabulary unless A, you trying to impress somebody, or B, you know what you about to say is fucked up.
Yeah. There's no point in trying to be ostentatious just for the point of doing it. No. There's a little joke there. But JD,
he simply, I think that like a lot of these terms and things that's going on online, a lot of these things are you taught these things. Like little kids getting online, them hearing it all the time. This is a community that they learning these kind of things in, right? Or you growing up and you hearing people around you. This is what you learning in your community. But at the same time, when you are really growing up, and when you actually start to learn more about yourself, learn more about the world, you start to want to learn things on your own. You start educating yourself. You can't assume as a 29-year-old man, I'm going to say I didn't know what this word meant. So why the fuck you use it? You can't use ignorance as the reason if you that old.
Sad excuse.
You're too old for that. You're too old for that. Just be a grown adult. Be a mature man. Be a man. Own up to it and just say what it is.
And just real quick add on, calling out the NBA and the Miami Heat for the I guess, collective bargaining agreement, but Kobe Bryant got fined $100,000 for using the other F word towards a referee in like 2011 or 12, and
Rondo, and Myers Leonard only got fined $50K for this, and that math doesn't add up. Like all slurs should probably be like $250, right? Like if you get caught saying it in public, it doesn't matter which one.
Right.
And then Miami Heat, this guy isn't any good. Why the fuck is he still on your roster? Like, you could do a lot better than Myers Leonard. Now, I know why he's on the roster. Cynically looking at it, he is making $9 million. You know that $9 million is good for trading for a player. Now, but the problem with this is, who wants to trade for Myers Leonard right now? Who would want their PR to take on, we traded for Myers Leonard, right? Like, let's just say, hypothetically, right? Like the Rockets traded for Myers Leonard, and they gave the Heat PJ Tucker, and they cut Myers Leonard right away. Doesn't matter. You're the team that traded for Myers Leonard. It doesn't make any sense not to cut him. And I would guess the day after the trade deadline, if he's still in the Heat, he's getting cut.
You know the place where these kind of things is said regularly by fans.
Where?
Utah.
I don't even know if they're saying this.
No, Utah said a lot of stuff, and I've heard that it's not one racial slur, one discriminating term that you won't hear in Utah. So Utah trade for him. He fits in with the community of the fans. Then they'll release him, let him be a fan. But it's simply it's stupid. I don't get how you even try to use the ignorance is bliss thing.
Yeah, guys, sometimes it's unfortunate we got to use the call-out corner for stuff like this, but sometimes that's what it's for. So not always it's not a bad thing to address it. So time to plug before we go. I'll throw it to AB, the founder.
So, yeah, Alex Neal and Basketball Power Hour. With this week, we're going to be going back. We're going back through our rotation because it turns out the amount of time from the first week to the last week of the first half of the season was just enough to get all 30 teams in and also blow up the Magic instead of talking about any of the games they played. So this week we're going to be going back to the beginning of the season. We're going to be talking about the Wizards, the Mavericks, and the Suns. So go check that out. We go really in depth, and this time around we'll probably be talking about different stuff. It'll be curious to see the direction we take it after having seen like a couple games each of them. But yeah, go check that out. Dylan and I also, our All NBA pod was released the day before this, and before we released this, and Dylan and I actually disagreed on a lot of stuff, including Dylan may or may not have had a certain someone that you guys think is not worthy of an all-star team on his all NBA second team. That's right. He may or may not have had Zion Williamson on his second team all NBA.
Wow.
So, go check that out.
Dylan, stop. Dylan, stop.
What else?
And, JD and Bryce, I think you guys and I plugged a lot of stuff on our Tokyo Drift pod that'll come out tomorrow. So
Yeah, we did. A lot of the same stuff. Nothing new on the horizon.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nothing to say. Nothing to say there.
Nothing to say. Although, JD, I gotta say, I'm excited. You and your brother coming on cinema to talk about Boys in the Hood 30th anniversary.
Yeah, man. As soon as I brought the idea to my brother, he said, "Oh yeah, I'm in. I'm in.
Looking forward to that.
Love Boys in the Hood, man."
I haven't seen it since the first time I watched it, so I gotta watch it again.
I literally just picked up my Boys in the Hood shirt today.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
I was going through some of my clothes and I picked it up. I said, you know what? How fitting is this?
One of the 3 most important movies of that year, I think. Silence of the Lambs, Terminator 2, and Boys in the Hood. 1991 All-Stars right there. So, all right, guys. Great pod. Alex, thanks for coming on.
Thank you guys for having me, and thank you for not absolutely disintegrating me for all my takes.
And as always, folks, thanks for listening.